Okay, so this particular video that I'm presenting to you today is going to delve deeply into the word Matamoros. Now, if we break down this word, it actually says killer of the Moors, or more killers, or even more slayer. But what you may not be aware of is that the term Moor was actually used in those times to describe a swarthy, dark, melanated person, which is essentially what we would refer to today as Black or African American. Now, interestingly enough, there is actually a city in Mexico, as well as many other countries around the world, that bear this name. In fact, there are dozens, if not more, cities and towns throughout the world with this name. But what we haven't been taught or made aware of is the significance of the Moors and their history. You see, the Moors were a group of people who emerged from West Africa after being expelled from Spain by the Inquisition. The name Moors is actually derived from a figure known as James the Moor Slayer, or in other words, James the Negro Slayer. Now, what's fascinating is that the term Moors, or Moros, was actually used by colonizers to describe the indigenous people who had dark skin on the lands they arrived upon. But here's the thing, my friends. The story doesn't stop there. It goes even deeper. I'm sure many of you have heard of the Olmec civilization. Now, if we analyze the statues and artifacts from this civilization, we can clearly see the features of melanated people, similar to African Americans. However, what the colonizers have done is expertly craft a narrative for the masses to believe, using diabolical and malicious means to change the names of races and people in order to hide their true identity. And here's the disturbing part. There is only one race of people that this has been done to, and that is African Americans. We must take a moment to truly analyze this. In my extensive research, I have discovered within the census reports from the 1800s that African Americans were actually categorized as copper-colored people. It is important to note that the terminology used to refer to African Americans has changed numerous times throughout history, all in an attempt to hide their true identity. But we must pay attention to the fact that for a significant amount of time, African Americans were officially recognized as copper-colored people. Now, this categorization has changed multiple times throughout the decades, with terms such as swarthy, Moors, Moros, copper-colored people, Negro, Afro-American, colored, Black, and finally, African American. One cannot help but question why the terminology and classification of this particular race of people has changed so frequently and in such short increments of time. It is truly mind-boggling. We must acknowledge that 400 years of the most intense abuse and suffering have been inflicted upon the African American community, with the intention of making them forget who they truly are. But the question we must ask ourselves is why? Why have we been taught and told a certain narrative that seems to deliberately erase and distort history? It is crucial for us to question the information we have been fed and to seek the truth. In the Bible, it is stated that various nations of people have become confederate against the Deuteronomy 28. And if we really think about it, we cannot name another group of people who were taken into slavery by ships other than the African Americans. It is important to note that the letter J was not even invented until 1524, so it is highly unlikely that Jesus is the correct name of the Most High Son. All of this information may be overwhelming and perplexing, similar to concepts such as the mud flood or ancient Tartaria, or even the world fairs. We have been systematically made to forget our own history, and it is crucial for us to question why this has been done. We must not settle for the narrative that has been handed to us. Instead, we must actively pursue the truth. If you are with me on this journey, I encourage you to leave a comment below the video and let me know your thoughts. Together, we can uncover the hidden truths that have been kept from us for far too long.